right, so now you said
So
the first
Bobby is
Olympiad.
playing with white
Yes.
against Dr. Max Euwe, was champion of the world before. I mean, he took the title for a short period from Alekhine. And here he plays Caro-Kann with black, and Bobby plays one of the sharpest line for white, the pan of attack. So, okay, knight c3, knight c6. The alternative here instead of knight c6 is e6. Well, analysis, a long analysis, you know. So, okay, knight c6. Here, again, instead of knight f3, white can play immediately bishop g5. Preferred by Bobby himself, you know. He liked to play like this with white, so bishop g5. Also very complicated, but okay, knight f3 is the main line. Knight f3, and here bishop g4, everything theory, starting from here, you know. Takes there, and queen b3. Okay, takes in f3, takes in f3, and e6. Now he takes in b7, knight takes d4, and bishop b5 check. Now you have to take, now queen c6 check, very important. Now you have to move the king, because if you play queen d7, you lose the rook from a8, you know.
Yeah.
So king e7, you know, theory. And queen takes b5, well. And here black can take in c3 or can play immediately queen d7. They are the two lines, you know. What did he play, Euwe? He took in c3. Okay, he took in c3, he took. It's almost the same. Queen d7, rook b1. Slight advantage for white, you know. Theory, everything is theory. White is a little bit better because he has some initiative. He wants to come on the 7th line, you know, on the 7th with a piece on b7 later. And he has a better position for his pieces. I mean, the bishop later on e3 is active. The king is very well centralized by playing king e2. He doesn't need to castle, you know, without queens. And he has also a free pawn on c3, and therefore white is clearly better here. But the advantage is small enough. It's not very big, the advantage, the white advantage. So, okay, rook d8. So black is trying to defend, of course. Bishop e3. Now he took in b5, he took, and rook d7, all right. Okay, so king e2. All right, so black has to move something, and he played normal move f6. He tries to put the king in f7 later to play the bishop, you know. And white has to do something very quickly to, I mean, he tries not to avoid this, you know. He has to do something very quickly. All right, rook d1. He tries to trade the best piece from black, you know, the rook from d7, which is a good defender of the pawn from a7. So now, if you want something, you have to trade rooks, because if you allow white to have two rooks on the 8th rank, you know, it's already too much, you know. So, okay, he took in d1, he took in d1, and now it's clearly better for white because he loses the pawn from a7, you know. He can't defend the pawn, but white doesn't take the pawn immediately. He plays first rook b8, because now the threat is if he moved, for instance, pawn a6, yes, you can lose at least the exchange up to bishop c5. And okay, finished, you know.
Yes.
So, right, you have to accept the fact that you lose the pawn, so black has to play like this, you know. Okay, now bishop takes a7. Now we see what is the Bobby technique, you know. He's clearly better, but has to show how can he win, you know. And, okay, Euwe was a very strong player, and he tries to resist in such a difficult position, you know. So, again, he has to prove that black tries to have a good defense, I mean, and white tries to show that he has enough to try to win. All right. So, okay, rook b6 check, king d5, rook b7. Now you are forced to go back to f8, you know, because the bishop h6 is even worse. Now the h6 is out of play completely, you know. So, okay.
Okay.
All right. So he played there, and now he gave. He played rook b8, and all right, bishop g7. Now probably it was time trouble because he moved the rook.
Yeah.
Is a problem here if it's enough or not to take the rook. Is another possibility, but probably the way Bobby played is better. I mean, he played a complicated position with the rook on board, you know. With the rook on board is better because you have many more chances, you see. So, okay, check. Now, okay, rook, king c6, check. Okay, back. And now he pushed the pawn. Now, okay, it's move by move, as I told you. So what to do? After f5, it seems that black has some activity, you know, at least. Now the bishop finally plays a little bit, you know, has the good diagonal, and he's threatening on c3. And maybe if white doesn't play the best moves, I mean, king c2, for instance, is not good enough because has time to put the rook in c8. And then black can hope, you know. So, right, what can he do here? Bishop b8, very strong move. Now he wants to come immediately with the pawn, a6, a7, you know, the twins immediately. So, therefore, I tell you, it's move by move. Okay, so rook c8, and here a6, all right. And after a6, he took the pawn, the last hope, you know. And now the surprise, you know, check. Now you have to go there. And now rook b7, the tempo. You know, one tempo is enough, we'll see. Now the only good move is bishop d4, you know, to control the diagonal, you know.
Yeah.
So now everything again, forced. Rook c7 check. Now you have to play king d3. Now he took in d3. Now you have to take only with the king. Because if you take with the bishop, a7 and wins, you know. And finally here, bishop e5 and black resigned.
Oh, beautiful.
Now, everything forced, you see. It seems very easy, but it's, you know, fantastic technique, you know.
But he was lost anyway, even if he pushed the pawn, right? If he, instead of this, pushing the pawn.
Yeah, but not immediately. After bishop e5, he can resign immediately because he makes a queen, you know.
Exactly, yes.
Beautiful, no? Demonstration again.